making us to be able to go into your computer and do whatever you want. Whatever you do, Clark, make sure then my bald head doesn't show. I was looking at a YouTube program last night, and you can see half of me, but you can see my whole bald head.
Well, wasn't it supposed to be all gone?
Yeah,
Project?
that will be tomorrow.
Oh, then I don't have to worry about half and half.
No, but I don't want to show my big nose, and I don't want to show.
It'll look bigger with a shave job, right?
It's gonna look like.
Eyes will be bigger.
Remember Kojak?
Yeah.
He used to have a big nose. When he put a wig on,
he did.
he
And lollipop sticking out of his mouth.
Yeah, but when he put the wig on, he didn't have that big of a nose anymore.
Right.
You know.
He had the big Donald Trump sweep.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. So, the Tribune is out today, and we have a little bit of a technical difficulty again because the people keep coming in and they claim to be experts on everything, and then they ended up, it's like you was telling me about the car wash thing. People claim to be knowing a lot about computers, and then they do the wrong thing, and ended up then the Las Vegas Tribune This Week edition is going to be sent out around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in this afternoon. We are fixing what somebody else broke. And
I'm very worried about computers because over the years they've spoiled us. You know, we do everything now by computer, or we're lost. We're kind of like Obama when he's looking at the teleprompter. If the teleprompter goes out, he's lost. He can't say anything. Well,
that's what happened a couple of days ago. He was talking very slow.
He never knows what to say.
No, I didn't think he knew what he was talking about.
He never does, unless he's told what to talk about. He has to read it. He doesn't know anything.
He has to wait for Joe Biden to do it?
Whoever is given the teleprompter words up there, that's who he's reading from. So now, Trump doesn't even use a teleprompter. So you have to compare apples to apples.
Yeah.
You compare Trump, and his instincts and what he talks about is true. It's the truth. What Obama talks about is what someone else is telling him.
Yeah, but hopefully, he won't. We don't have to worry about him after next year.
Yeah, but it's this next year could be devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he's doing with these refugees.
But luckily, he's not running again. So
not yet.
Not yet. No, that's what I'm saying. But in the meantime, let it finish. Let him play president for another 12 months, and
don't you think?
Actually, it will be 13 months because the election is actually 14 months.
January is when he's gone.
He's gone. So yeah.
I think January 20th something even. Isn't inauguration?
So
day,
it's 2.5 months.
Right.
November 4 is the election.
Devastating.
November 4 is the election, and
the way he's run everything thus far, he's out to ruin the country. So, come election time, why wouldn't he ruin the election? Just have complete devastation. Hillary gets hauled off to jail. Why wouldn't he do this? Why wouldn't he want total disarray? That's the way he's run everything.
Are you writing a script how it's going to be?
I'm predicting.
You're projecting, no?
I've seen 7 years of history, so I have a very good base to base my prediction on. Yes. It's been done over and over and over again for 7 years. The man is out. He does everything wrong. And if you think he's a friend of Hillary Clinton, you're naive. There's no way. He's an enemy of Hillary Clinton.
Oh, they've been enemies. I don't know why he named her Secretary of State.
Keep your enemies closer. He shut her up for 4 years. He probably got reelected because of it. If Hillary Clinton would have probably ran against him in, 12? Probably would have ran against him in 12.
In 12, yeah.
Yeah. If she hadn't have been Secretary of State. And now how's she going
And
to
then
run?
after the election, she was gone. So
Yeah. Yeah.
did she left or he left her?
Well, I, combination, I would say.
I guess he was obligated to John Kerry, right?
Well, I don't know. Another thing, the statements he's coming out with are just Lurch is his name. Is not John Kerry. They changed it officially now, legally. It's Lurch.
Lurch?
Lurch,
Why?
like the butler on the Munsters.
Uh-huh.
That big, tall, huge
Lurch.
guy, Lurch.
Lurch.
He's been in a couple James Bond films and stuff. Lurch.
Oh, really?
He looks like Lurch.
Really?
Lurch is a movie star.
He been in a movie star?
Lurch has,
Oh, but
and
no.
Kerry looks just like him.
Oh, okay.
And he acts just like him. Lurch was this dumb acting guy. You know,
And
always
he
a
talk
stupid-
like.
Yeah, and he looks exactly like Kerry. Acts just like him. The morons that this man has surrounded, moron in chief.
I know, but
has surrounded
Lurk
himself
is
with.
not. Lurk was not married to money, right?
Well, no, I guess not everybody can do that, and Republican money. So it's really quite something.
That's,
Yeah, it's something wrong with
well,
that
you
woman.
know, let me tell you, this is the whole thing. The problem is a lot of people don't like to admit that the Republican. Do you hear an echo? When I talk?
There's something on somewhere. It's not here, but it's.
Oh,
Oh,
I don't
it's
know.
the TV.
No, I hear an echo coming from
Oh,
there,
you do? I don't.
but it's okay. I like echoes.
I don't think I.
Yeah, but I think I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying.
I don't either.
It's been a rough morning for me today. Very rough.
Well, we have a lot of things that are mysterious that go on around here. Our phones don't work.
Can you do me a favor? Can you pull that thing out of there?
What thing?
That unless you put it in there.
Put what?
That in the computer.
Oh. That?
No, that.
Okay.
Unless you put it in there, that's fine. If it's somebody else, I don't know why they want to record my show. The show is on YouTube anyway.
I'll have to look and see what's on there later. I don't know what's on there.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I hear that your friend Harry Reid is waiting to see what refugees. I don't know what is it, what they waiting for, but
Sandoval hasn't weighed in either way yet on whether he's going to accept.
well, he's waiting for the president.
Who are these people in the front page of the Review Journal? Are they people?
They refugees.
How did they get here? Did they accept them? I mean,
I don't know.
well,
I don't know about that
they're in
one.
Nevada, right?
I haven't read the article.
Oh,
I don't. I only read that paper when it's extremely emergency, and I should have read it because I didn't know that we have refugee families in here already.
well, we have some really, really as serious as it's ever been situation going on in the world that needs to be straightened out. And like cockroaches, you need to get rid of these people that are causing all this devastation, and that needs to be step one. Get rid of the cockroaches. And just wipe them out. Like Trump says, just wipe them out. That's the only thing that'll work. Now, some people, these goody two-shoes, might not like that approach. It is the only approach that will work, folks.
Let me tell you, I said that 50 years ago when they was talking about how to get rid of Fidel Castro. I said, all you got to do there is bomb the whole country, clean the whole country. The good people was out of there already, so we don't need to worry about. In war, there's always victim. In war, there's always
If you don't
innocent
clean
victim.
up the cockroaches, how many innocent people are going to die anyways? And the innocent people that'll die are really innocent people, like the people in the towers. Those 3,000 people were all basically innocent people.
Yeah.
So that's 3,000 people. So if you bomb ISIS off the planet and you kill 3,000 Innocent people, well, that's what it's too bad.
That's what it took.
Sorry, but at least we don't have another tower blowing up
Then-
with this, that, or the other thing
Then
going
we can
on.
put them as we can use them as
You're on the air.
Hello, may I speak with Navarro?
Who is that?
Mr. Navarro?
Who is that?
Oh, my name's Mike B. with Aromatics. Have I dialed the wrong number?
Probably. This is a radio show.
All right, let me remove the number. You guys have a good day.
well, at least he was nice enough to try
Yeah,
to
at least he
remove the
was
number.
right.
You know, no, we can them honor them as heroes, but they have to. If they have to die, they have to die. It's just that's what it takes to clean.
How many people were wiped out when we dropped those 2 bombs on Japan? There was several 100,000 people, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah.
probably 99% of them were innocent. I don't think any of them were what would you call soldiers. They weren't people that were fighting us necessarily.
No.
It was a political move to show Japan, you want more? And they said, no, we don't want any more. So they ended it. But we had to kill 200,000 people. But we got the war over. Now, in the long term of effect, how many people, we lose 200,000, how many did it save?
Well, let me ask you something. Let me ask you, what are your idol have to say this morning? You not
I've
listen
been so
to him.
busy today.
You not listen to him today. I don't see the
No,
earphone.
I forgot it. I had to run out of the house really early.
Oh.
And I forgot my communication devices that I usually use to stay on top of things.
Oh.
And so I've been kind of cut off from the world today. So I'm not as up to date as I always am. So I apologize. You're going to have to pick up the slack. But I know you're capable of it. So I'm sure you've been glued to the information sources today.
Yeah,
Seeing what you can gather.
But I think when it get to be so much information, you lose track.
Well,
Like
it's,
yesterday, a Bill O'Reilly show. First of all, it was 3-hour show.
Well, things kept getting interrupted the other day on all the shows because of what happened in Paris. And then they found, I guess, some of the terrorists. So there was a big gun battle there going on. And that interrupted everything from that point on all night long.
Right.
So I don't know if I even saw Bill O'Reilly. I saw...
It was not Bill O'Reilly. It was his scheduled time.
Right. That's
But-
what I mean. It was all Paris stuff
Right.
and bombing stuff.
Yeah, that
And,
was all. That's all it was, So, I assume then sooner or later everything will go back to normal.
Hopefully. Hannity was interrupted. I think his show started.
Yeah, he was
but-
too.
But then after 15, well, maybe a half an hour, boom, he was gonzo. And so I didn't even have an informative night, come to think of it.
No,
I mean, Paris is just one thing. Sorry about that, but it's what's going to happen again and again and again. It's not going to stop. It's going to be going on everywhere.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, it's not a matter of if, it's when, it's going to start happening over here.
yeah.
And we need to have good leadership before it does. And maybe we can prevent it. You're not going to
So
prevent
how
it.
are we gonna do that? How are we gonna do that?
We
then?
build a comprehensive. I explained the other day to the
Are we
people
gonna
what
tell the enemy
compre-
hold on for 12 months
what
or
com-
13 months?
Well, no, you can't.
Okay.
That's the danger zone.
That's the danger.
Because we need a way that when we have a person that was election process that went through, that for whatever reason the result is not the good result, we need to be able to clean them out right away. We don't have to wait till the next cycle. We need to surround the White House. Either that, or we were talking the other day, we need to let them fly away, fly somewheres every day. So we do some secretive stuff. We let them fly away, but we don't let them come back. So either the airplane, the Air Force One takes off after they drop them off
Right.
and leaves them there would probably be the best approach.
Right.
Because he wouldn't be able to figure out how the hell to get back. And then we don't allow him in, so the wall works for him. So he lets everybody in, but he won't be able to get in.
Yeah.
And that's the way we take care of it. Why not? Who's going to do anything about it? He just uses his pen and his phone to do whatever he wants. So why can't the people do the same thing? We don't want him here anymore. So we take away Air Force One when he's in the middle of a trip. What's he going to do about it?
Repossess.
Well, it's our plane. We decide to use it. He
Right.
loses his privilege.
No, it's like when you got a car, the car is not yours. It
The
belongs
way
to the
I look
bank.
at it right
if
now,
you don't pay it, the bank repossesses.
he is a traitor to the United States. Okay? He's letting people into the United States. We don't know who they are. And they're potentially high risk for being terrorists. He's letting them in.
What do
He's
you
inviting
think
them.
What do you think his agenda is? What do
Total-
you think? Educate me.
Fundamentally change the United States from a world leader to a third world country. That's it. And that's to pay them back for slaves. Because America went over to Africa and stole all these people from the mouths of tigers and brought them to the United States. And now most of them are driving around in Mercedes and Cadillacs and nice cars. Bentleys like OJ, And so we saved them. But they want reparations. Well, my reparation would be send them back to Africa and let them run away from the tigers for a while. See how they like that. Screw these people. Why do they always complain about stuff? And it's always someone else's fault. It's never their fault. Obama was going to straighten out all the race problems in this country.
Sure.
He was going to straighten them all out, and he's made them 10 times worse. 10 times worse.
Let me tell you what I believe. As long as they are human beings, there's never going to be peace in
Well,
people's mind.
There's something
It's
to be
never
said
gonna
for that.
be.
And it gets worse because half of the world, if it's that much, whatever it is, are ideologues. And they're religious fanatics. And when you get distorted in your brain from some fanatic telling you the Quran is the way you have to live your life, some book that came, I don't know how many thousands of years ago, but they talk about caliphates, they talk about taking over the world, they talk about any of your people that don't agree with you, we need to kill them, wipe Israel off the face of the earth, whatever. I mean, these are people that are fanatics, and they're like cockroaches, and you need to exterminate them. That's the only solution. Are we going to be a world of reasonable, law-abiding people, or are we going to be a world of cockroaches? Answer the question. What is it you want? If you take cockroaches, well, I'm going to be on that first trip to Mars. I might only survive a few weeks up there, but what's the difference? Because this planet's doomed. Doomed.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So-
believe it.
Hopefully, we can get some new leadership. The sooner the better. And we better
Well,
get it this
it's
cycle.
not going to be the sooner the better, because if we are going to be a normal country, we're going to be like we used to be 10 years ago. We have to wait for 13 months. There is November to November.
What's
then-
wrong with my take the plane away in the middle of a trip? What's wrong with that idea?
Because he might don't fly anymore now. He's afraid to fly.
That'll
bec-
never happen. He has to go someplace every day because he likes that airplane. He doesn't like to be in Washington.
It's like a toy, no?
Yes, he likes the plane. Everybody kisses
Let's
his
go
ass.
play. Let's go play.
Right. It's a nice plane, don't get me wrong.
You're so cynical.
Probably the
I
best
can't
private
believe
plane in the
you can
world.
be so cynical. You don't
That's
look.
what he is. Look
You
at him.
don't look American. Americans are not that cynical unless you are in politics.
After
then
you've
you
been
become.
trampled on,
Huh?
your whole life I've been trampled on. They talk about needing reparations over there. What about me? I used to have a nice country. It's been stolen by morons. Why shouldn't I be pissed?
I hate to admit
When I
it.
grew up in the 50s and 60s, this country was a great country. But leave it to Beaver. June and whatever the husband, Ward Cleaver. That was America. The Nelsons. Ricky Nelson and David Nelson, that's what I grew up with. I love
And
Lucy.
Fonzie.
Fonzie, right. He was the radical one.
Yeah.
That's as bad as it ever got. He rode motorcycles, wore a leather jacket, and chased chicks, or the chicks chased him because he was so cool. I loved it when he'd go up on one of those brief little things they show. He'd walk up to a mirror, he'd take out his comb, he'd look in the mirror and go, like he doesn't need any adjustments, he's perfect. He'd look in the mirror and go, don't need anything, I mean, that's what I do every day.
Whatever happened to
I go
him?
and I look, I go,
He's still alive?
oh yeah, he's got gray hair though. He's been in some films lately.
Really?
Can't remember the names of them because I can't remember names, but yeah, he gets roles now and then. He's good. He gets some character parts that are interesting.
And then Carol O'Connor with All in the Family. I like that show.
Well, it was, I don't know if you'd call it ahead of its time, but it was extremely controversial back then.
Very.
And I guess today you couldn't have it.
Really?
It wouldn't make it.
No?
No, because of what he used to say. It's so politically incorrect today, it would never last. It would be canceled in a heartbeat.
So what is that? What make this change like that?
Liberals trying to control the way you think and
So
the way you feel.
are you telling me that the country doesn't have a mind on their own?
No, they've been indoctrinated and brainwashed, and now feelings are what counts. The way you feel. We don't want to.
Is that why you changed your name to Philly?
Yes, because I've been feeling that way from day one.
But I don't know. I believe that people change because they want to change. I don't think it is for no other reason. I think they do have what would I call.
Okay, the colored people keep voting for the Democrats. What have the Democrats done for the colored
And the Mexicans too. So it's not
What have they done for them? What's
nothing.
Then why do they keep voting for? You say it's for them. People do for what they want. Well, why do they keep voting for someone who does nothing for them? The Democrats were fighting civil rights. The Republicans are the ones that got them civil rights.
Yeah. And the Republicans are the one that took erased the slave.
That was Lincoln. He was Republican.
Yeah.
So, but we don't get credit because the liberals lie about everything. Even though that's true, they don't tell you that. They tell you the opposite.
No, they tell you the opposite.
Right.
They
Everything
tell you
that comes out of their mouth.
the Republicans are the ones that lie.
If Democrat lips are moving, they're lying. That's all you need to know. That's it. And why people pay attention to them is because they're morons. They've had their brain indoctrinated and taken away from them. They no longer know if their mashed potatoes taste good or not. Someone has to tell them, your mashed potatoes taste good. And it has to be someone like Harry Reid telling them that, or Obama. You didn't build that. The guy they're morons. There's no other way to describe them. Donald Trump's exactly right. He says it the way it is. And if the words hurt, I'm sorry, those are the truth. Take it or leave it. That's the truth. We're going to start talking the truth in this country, and we're not going to take this politically correct crap anymore. And if we hurt your feelings, get a skin. In Greek, I heard, I like to point to this. I'm probably pretty bad to do it. But I heard centuries ago, in Greece, if a baby came out of a womb and it was missing a toe or there was something wrong with it, didn't quite look right, they kicked it off a cliff. Now, that's pretty radical, but, think about it. That kid's not going to have a good time in the world because he's not going to make it. So in Greece, they used to just kick him off a cliff.
But let me tell you, in all levels, we have that problem. Look what happened. It is in the front page of the Las Vegas Tribune today. Michael McDonald is
Like
being
a cat.
Yeah, he got 7 lives because they tried to.
He's got 2 left. Cat's got 9 lives, right? So he's got 2 left still.
Oh, he got 9 lives?
Yeah, cats have 9
So
lives.
what happened to my editor?
Well, he's used up 7, is the way I read it. Like a cat has 7 lives. Well, yeah, kind of wrong, 9 lives. Or maybe it should just say that you're implying that he's had 7 lives already, so he's got 2 to go. But anyway, your point was?
They tried to stop him for getting reelected to the chairmanship of the Republican Party, the state Republican Party.
Who tried to stop him?
people in the Clark County Republicans, let me tell you, I've been saying this for years. Republican people are not that united.
They never have been.
They never have been, but at least they show the real them. The Democrats are not united, and they pretend to be united. But the guy they used to be the political director of the Clark County Republican Party, wanted to run against him. The Las Vegas Review-Journal and John L. Smith want him out of there. The FBI still believes up to this day that he has something to hide, or he's hiding something. And that was the way they put it. He's hiding something, but he keep getting elected. It's the first time that a chairman of the party got reelected 3 times.
Well, just to point out a situation where the Democrats never throw anybody under the bus. A Democrat just got elected as mayor of Bridgeport, Connecticut, who in his last term as mayor, which was like 9 or 10 years ago, he was arrested, put in handcuffs, and thrown in jail for corruption in office. So when he was mayor, he was taking bribes, and they caught him, and they threw him in jail for 8 years. He served 8 years. He just got out. This is the first election cycle since he's been out, and the Democrats elect him as mayor.
Is he black?
No. Well, no, he's not. He's
No?
white.
And,
How does that happen?
I was thinking the same thing happened in Washington, D.C.
If you're a
with Mayor
Republican,
Barry.
Well, he's black and he's Democratic, though.
Yeah,
See,
and
now
he
if you're a
he
Republican,
got reelected.
if you're running as a Republican, anything, and you've been one day in jail, you don't get elected.
Yeah. Well, it depends who is it. Look at all those Democrats and the county commissioners. They all went to prison. They all did time, and they're not being reelected anymore. So it all depends on who is the person and how important is to the party. It's not.
How many bodies they know where they're buried? Is that what it comes down
That's
to?
true. That's true. That's
So,
true. So I think none of them, and then they are pissed because Michael McDonald was not involved in that group, but Michael McDonald report everything he make, any money he make, he reported to the IRS. Everything he did with the Gallardi and Rick Rizzolo, well, he didn't do nothing for Rick Rizzolo except being friends to Rick Rizzolo.
Well, what was her name? Kenny Aaron or whatever
Kenny
it was?
Aaron,
She
yeah.
didn't report
Eddie
anything
Kenny.
to the
Eddie
IRS,
Kenny.
like $800,000. Nothing. There was no problem there. She just didn't report it. But nothing.
But that was not work. She didn't earn that money.
But it was
She
money
didn't earn
she
it.
got.
She was under the table. She was not.
But don't you have to report it?
No.
Oh,
That's
why did
pleasure.
Al Capone go to
That's
jail?
pleasure.
Oh, well, she's a liberal, so that's okay.
Yeah.
It's like Lerner, the IRS can lie in front of Congress, and that's okay. That's not a crime when a liberal does it. Hillary can lie in front of Congress, but that's not a crime because a liberal does it.
But who told you that she's lying?
She did.
She told you she's lying?
Yeah, because the evidence is there. When she told her family one story, she told the people another story, completely opposite.
Oh.
So isn't that a lie?
Okay. Refresh. Yeah, go ahead.
I happened to overhear the discussion, and I'd like to take an opportunity to explain my take on why. Why comes up a lot. Because people complain about what's going on and they don't share the information. They don't find the time to look at the evidence. My show yesterday was all a dissemination of the lies by the 3 Democratic candidates at their debate the other day. It was all, I did almost the entire hour on it. All three of them lied incessantly, according to the AP and David Knight, who did the investigation and did the report. I was always taught that if it happens in politics, it doesn't happen accidentally.
No, but
regarding
I tell
Michael
you,
McDonald's
but-
three-time election,
Yeah.
what's he doing for the people that control Sequoia Pacific vote miscounting machines? That he always gets elected. I hear that said so much. I don't believe he gets elected. He gets announced as the winner of the election. I'll go along with that. As far as who gets elected, I have no clue about that. And
Well-
neither does anybody else.
First of all, why don't you introduce your guest?
Oh, I thought this was Face of the Tribune. Is this the herd?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was
Introduce,
a guest on your show.
Introduce. You are the
Co-host now? I've been elevated? Oh.
Mr. Producer.
Well, you've been hearing
Mr.
some
Producer.
comments from Captain Truth. He woke up early today, so he decided to make some comments.
Yeah.
So that's who you've been listening to.
Let me tell you one thing. Then I'm not crazy about Michael McDonald. I'm not that crazy about him. But one thing I like about him now is that he's at odds with the governor. As a matter of fact, I was told, I don't know how true, and I couldn't find anything, but I've been told 3 or 4 times that the governor created a temporarily Republican Party to support him in this stupid tax raise because the Republican Party was not going to support that rate.
Oh, sounds like an envelope or a bag was changed hands, huh?
Why?
Well, the Republicans went along with it. They give a few of them the opportunity to vote with the people as long as they get what they want.
Yeah.
If it happens in politics, it doesn't happen accidentally.
And those, like Victoria Simmons, then tried to get glory out of opposing that tax raise, turn around and come back during different sessions, supported another tax raise. They have nothing to do with the main tax raise. There was other tax raises then incurred during the assembly, and you need to read Chuck Moore's column where he called her Victoria's Secret instead of Victoria Simmons because she got her own little secret. She approved a lot of the taxes that she should never approve it. So now she's playing the two sides of the party. She's opposing the big picture, and she take 19 different small
That
pictures.
sounds like all politicians.
Yeah,
We can't raise it
and
too
now-
much. The people
and
will
now-
get upset.
and
Just
now-
a little bit, a
and-
little bit, a little bit, a
And
little bit.
now, after 5 months in the assembly, she announced glorifying that she's running for senator because the state needs her. How do we know if we need her if she has not worked yet one term in her, not even 1/3 of her term? She got 24 months as an assemblywoman, and 5 months after she was elected, the first months, they all start fighting over there in the assembly. They call each other's name, and I got the recording in my files because they used to do that in this radio station that now they don't want to recognize. They all came here to play the little political game. By the way, for free. They never pay a dime for that hour of broadcasting every Saturday. They all were there using the electricity. They use the computer. They use everything because
I haven't seen the invitations. I firmly believe that when I ask Michelle to be on my show, she'll be here. But time will tell. I could be totally wrong.
So let me ask you something. No, but Michelle only was there one day. She was forced to go there by Victoria and her campaign manager, Lisa Mayo de Rizzo. Michelle, whatever the problem she has with the Tribune or with me personally, I can give a damn. I don't give a damn. It's not. That doesn't gonna stop me for having a good night's sleep. You know. It's up to her, you know. I don't.
Seaman, I don't know too much about. I can tell you their advertising. Their advertising is in comparison to this Roberson guy, who ran on. I understand, according to the advertising, ran on a strict platform of being fiscally conservative and not for taxes. Approved the largest tax increase in the history of the state. And that doesn't sound to the people that are accusing him of impropriety as if he was what he said he was. He lied to the people, and now he wants to run for another position too. Well, it'll be interesting to see what they get away with the Sequoia Pacific machines.
You know, and to me, like Michelle Fiore, she's so good and she cares so much about the state of Nevada. Why don't she stay here? She's already been there, what, 2 terms, 3 terms in the assembly?
I'm not sure, at least 2.
At least 2. Well, now she might deserve to run for the Senate in the state. If everyone that is supposed to be allegedly good servant, good public servant, then if they all gonna run to Washington to rub elbow with all those corrupted people over there, they're gonna become corrupted and they're not gonna do nothing good for the state of Nevada. They need to stay here. It's the same thing that I told Justice Michael Douglas. If the judges in district court will do their job, we don't need an appellate court. We don't need a Supreme Court. Nobody need to appeal anything because they do things by the book, by the law. But if they do take the opportunity to help an attorney, then donated to his campaign, or another attorney that donate to her campaign. I'm not talking anybody in particular. I'm talking in general. They all take campaign contribution. If I have my way, I will stop campaign contribution. You want to be a judge? Show how good you can be with your own money. Put your money where your mouth is. That's all it is. Okay? And then maybe the newspapers will give everybody a little space in the newspaper to put the ad in there, free.
Well, we have public libraries. You could provide a 2-minute video segment and a 5-minute video segment, and have all the candidates submit those if they choose to, and have the public. I'm more for more public participation. Actually, I think that's the way we solve things.
Why bullshit the audience? Why bullshit the voters by telling judges has to be they have no party. They have to be, what do you call it?
Nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan. You know why? They are partisan.
They're partisans are lawyers.
Huh?
They're partisan to lawyers.
They're part of the club.
And then
People
you
that give
got
them the money.
And then you got a criminal like whatever you call that guy that is the judge maker, David Thomas. You know, he's a Democrat. Who did he elect? All the judges that are Democrat. You know, with the exception, I believe, of Bill Kephart. I think he's a Republican.
I find that hard to believe.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I'm not sure. I don't.
Is Wolfson a Democrat or a Republican?
No, a Democrat.
Well, didn't Gephardt used to work in that same environment?
But I think what happened, I believe that his wife is a Republican.
Like James Carville.
because I remember when she was running for judge, and I went to bat for her. Unfortunately, another mistake in my life. The governor at that time, I think it was Kenny Wynn, was in her fundraising, and it was the day that she announced. I don't know if those people don't look at the letter at the end of the name, because they want to have the governor in their side, and because judges are non-partisan, they can play the game better than anybody else. But county commissioners, they are all
They're
the county
partisan.
commissioners now are Democrat. There's no Republican in there. And the only black token is Larry Weekly. The same way with city council. The only black token is the what do you call that guy? Ricky Barlow. And they lucky they got one. And
They
now
have to have one. Isn't there a law?
it's a law to election. I don't think electing
I wouldn't
people.
think so, but the
No.
districts are gerrymandered so that I
Well,
think.
affirmative action.
Well, I mean,
No,
that's-
it
You have
can't
to have
be.
one black.
I'm sure
No.
I'm sure you know some people that voted for Obama just because he was black. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that
You mean
doesn't
like the
know
blacks?
that. Yeah.
90,
Typically.
95% of them voted for Obama.
No. Harry Reid voted for Obama.
Yeah.
He didn't vote for his son.
Well, because Obama won the nomination.
Yeah.
So that's why. But if it was a different time, he would have been bringing us coffee and beverages. Oh, no, that was Kennedy. I get confused with these Democrats.
I
No,
will
he
give
did it.
I will give
No.
a lot of them credit. I've heard many of them that did that said, "Wow, I never should have done that." But that was a result of the media not properly vetting Mr. Obama, asking him, "Where's your school transcripts? Where did you go to school? Where were you born?" They didn't ask him any information.
And why can't we get that information?
Because it's sealed, whatever
By
that
who?
means.
By who?
Yeah, but
Why isn't it
that's a point. That's a good point. A person that is running for the higher office in this country should know. Why are you stealing? What are you hiding? What are you doing that people cannot know?
I heard that some money, like $4 or $5 million, was spent to cover up his transcripts, and that money had to come from like a Soros. Whoever the money part being is in this scenario covered that up.
I think.
Why couldn't Trump get it? Why
I
couldn't
think the
Trump?
country was wrong there.
I have thought that a media outlet can petition a court, and with enough public acclaim or public knowledge of what they're doing,
Well, maybe
I
one.
think they could have gotten that.
Maybe
I-
one. Maybe
the
some of those
Associated
millions.
Press or
Maybe some
something.
of those millions went to the media.
You mean in the
And they
form,
did not-
of,
and
in
they
the form
didn't-
of advertising? Of course.
In any form.
Came out not too long ago. FBI's having an investigation of Hillary Clinton's whatever. Now, Obama, executive branch, I'll give you that, but he says he's not going to release any tapes or any emails, correspondence that he had with Hillary till after he gets out of the White House. Isn't that obstruction?
Well, a jury might find that. I would say it probably is. I'd lean that way. I'd listen to the facts. I'd
It depends
You
how
have separation
confidential.
of powers.
Depending how confidential. Maybe they can. The FBI should look at it, even if they don't publicize
Well, if
it.
it's national security,
Yeah.
the way I understood the law was an impartial judge, if you have a question over something like that, a judge has to look at to see if it violates that. But somebody has to look at it and make a
Yeah.
determination.
It's called an in-camera proceeding,
Right.
where the judge
If-
has an opportunity to determine whether it's a state secret or where the potential harm by dissemination of the information to the public.
It's very interesting about that. But I also.
It's called cover up.
My,
It's so
but al-
obvious.
But I also wonder why the Secret Service, the FBI, the CIA kept their mouth shut.
I would think that any email that I've ever had, I'm not the President of the United States or something like that, but I bet you anybody could get my email, no matter what in the hell anybody ever tried to do, they could be gotten. The FBI's gotten Hillary's emails. It took them a while, but they got them, right?
Yeah, the
I mean,
scrubbing
you can't-
process, I understand, it's my understanding, doesn't work. There isn't
Yeah,
such
there's
a
no
thing
way-
as
there's
that.
no
They
way to
they
wipe
can
it
find
out.
it because they know the people it was sent to, and you can retrieve it that way.
Yeah, of course. This is not rocket science. And these people, you got to remember, are morons. So they're not going to figure anything out and get away with it. The government operatives don't work because they're incompetents.
You made that comment a few minutes ago about how the Democrats are all together, and I thought that's a very cogent comment, because I've learned in the last couple of weeks they're together because the people of low intellect and of low
Low information.
brain activity
Well, no.
are Democrats.
No. I'm the one that made that statement.
Okay.
He said,
You agreed?
no, he said they do get together because, but I was talking about the people in the Democrat Party. I'm not talking about the public. I'm not talking about the masses. They don't count. People don't realize that the masses, the voters, don't count.
Their agenda is to
What-
divide the people. That's their agenda.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if you're a crook, if you've been in jail, it doesn't matter. You're a division. You're
Right.
a division
No,
operative.
I
So
said
if you're in
they-
the Democratic Party, you get away with everything because it doesn't matter. They're all liars and cheaters, anyways. In the
And
Democrat.
they all
So they all fit together.
That's their assumption. Everybody does it. So what? They caught our people. So what?
They all
Everybody does
play
it.
the game. Look at what happened when the operation Sting operation. They all the Democrats. They all run away from the ones that was pointing. The spotlight was pointing on them. You didn't see anybody talking or defending Mary King Kay. You didn't see anybody defending Erin Kenney, nor that she have any defense. Malone, Lance Malone.
What did Erin Kenney do? Lose her job? She didn't get reelected? What happened to her?
I'm not talking about what she did or what she didn't do. I'm talking about that everybody is scattered away from those people. They're not together when they go into the bad.
That's very rare, though.
I don't remember when they were indicted. Did they immediately step down, or
No.
were they innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah, whatever. But
So they were able to keep the
everybody run away from them. They don't even talk to them in the meetings. They stay out of there. And I believe, I have to say. I never had anything wrong to say about Erin Kenney. The only reason that I didn't defend her is because I don't like snitches.
Undefensible.
And I don't like snitches, because if you do something for me and you be my friend and you be my supporter, I have to support you one way or the other. Or at least if you don't have a defense, at least I can support you by trying to bring your good part. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I wasn't gonna say anything bad about Erin Kenney, because Erin Kenney was the only county commissioner that allowed money from the county to be expended as an advertising in Las Vegas Tribune. Not even my best friend, well, not my best friend, not even my good friend Mary King Kay voted in favor of us getting the advertising for the UMC, which is the kind of readership that will cater to those kind of people that go to the UMC. The rest of the people go to what do you call South Hill, or whatever the name of the other one over there by Buffalo, where the rich people are. UMC is for the kind of readership the Las Vegas Tribune supposedly carry. Even though everybody receive, regardless of what Lisa Mayo said. A lot of people read the Tribune, and they don't admit it, like Judge Stuart Bell. He said in public, and you can go to Ben Child's office and you're going to see the front page of the newspaper, the whole paper, the real newspaper. When I said Stuart Bell attacked the Las Vegas Tribune after we endorsed him, after he came to us asking for endorsement from the newspaper. And he said in court, oh, nobody read the paper. That is an expression. I have people telling me that nobody read the Review Journal. As a matter of fact, a U.S. attorney told a judge in the federal court during the HOA, they wanted to hold some kind of information, and the U.S. attorney told the judge, and said, nobody read Las Vegas Review Journal. I put him in my paper after I hear that. You know, that's an expression that, like, somebody then always comment good comments about the Tribune. One day I go to the courthouse, and the guy said, I read that piece of trash that you published. You lie. Anyway, who read that trash? Well, you did read it because you know what I said. And so what is the point? All this time, the newspaper was good. All this time, the paper was serving the community. All this time, you know, just because you disagree with me one time. Look, I disagree with John Smith 99 times out of 100. But when he do something, I put him in there. I don't even like Steve Sampson. But when he writes something then people need to know, I put him in there because that is the duty of a journalist. We have to be colorblind, opinion blind, everything. We have to put everything for people to make their own opinion.
Well, I would hope that we're having a resurgence around this country on the truth. And
That's
going
all.
to really mean something someday, that the Las Vegas Tribune has always published the truth. Whether
Let me
it's
tell you,
good, bad, or indifferent, it's the truth. And that's what we're supporting. And we hope that a resurgence is happening where you have a candidate that's leading in the polls. One of the main reasons is because he tells the truth. How refreshing.
Unfortunately, my memory is really...
His name's Donald Trump. Is that what you couldn't remember his name?
No. No. Unfortunately, this lady was running for judge, and she had a campaign fundraising from Ossie Fumo, Tom Pitaro, Doc. It was a campaign. It was a team effort to fundraising for her and for Doc Smith. Well, I told her, I wrote in the paper, then she should not allow these attorneys to destroy her opportunity to become a judge. She's a good, decent person. She's an intelligent human being. She has a lot of good things, and she let these 3 or 4 attorneys brainwash her so she can. So one day I was visiting Bill Kephardt's office, and she walked in, and the secretary for the judge said to her, you know Rolando, don't you? And she said, yeah, he writes bad about me. I said, no, I didn't write bad about you. I wrote that you are a good lawyer. You have a lot of respect from the community. You know how to act in the best way. But you allow those 3 attorneys that want to play political, I forgot what I said, and you allow them to use you for their own benefit because Doc Smith...
Truth hurts.
Doc Smith is completely corrupt. He's not doing anything, one thing, then it is right. and they put you and him in the same fundraising, that is wrong. They did it wrong to you. And somebody else that was there with a uniform, okay, he went like this and waved his head and said, wow, it's true. It's true. They use her. Yeah. And well, I don't have to hide from her because I wrote that. I did it, I say it, and I sustain what I put in my column, or I put an article that is written by me, my name. I cannot say the same thing when somebody else do that unless it had to go through me first, like Natasha Minsky, Alexander Cohen, all those. I take responsibility. I cannot take responsibility for what Gordo Martinez writes or what anybody else writes, because this newspaper believes in the freedom of opinion, the freedom of expression, and we need to allow those people to put.
I thought that's what newspapers were founded on. That was the principle of newspapers. What happened?
It's what our country was founded.
Yeah, what happened?
And the only reason then I go through the articles reading by Natasha or Alexandra is because most of the time they are out of town, and sometimes they can miss something, or something could happen the day before they wrote the article, and I go there as the editor-in-chief. I have the right to do that. Madamis go through that, and I go through that to make sure that everything that is there, the proof is in the pudding. How many lawsuits do we have? We don't have any lawsuit. The only lawsuit that we was going to have is somebody that was working for me by the name of John Moser. Then when I asked him, let me see the books, he looked at me and he said, what books? I don't have no books. So I went to the bank, I took his signature out of the bank, and he was gone. That's all it was. It was not, we went to court and it was dismissed. Maybe it was dismissed because, I don't know, because the judge that was going to rule in that thing didn't like me, so it was not because they are corrupted, like somebody told me yesterday. Well, what are you expecting here? I expected that, look at Sally Laurer. Sally Laurer took the lawsuit that David Water did against me because I made a mistake and didn't want to give my column or my article to Madam Mistu. I put him in the present terms, and it was past term. And after all, and she allowed him to continue with the, because she didn't like me. She didn't like me, so she wanted to see the newspaper go down. And it was proved, then I was right. I wrote it in the bad term. I got the paperwork. His ex-wife gave me all the papers, and with that tone, I clear myself in front of the world. God bless you. God bless America. It is 1 o'clock. Listen to the wake-up call in 5 minutes.
Thank you.
We done? That was the story with John Moser, my friend. I didn't rip anybody off.
I said, I'm not sure.
You're not sure what?
Anything I said about that, I started the statement with